heart of Rome lies the Bocca Della Verita.
When was the Bocca Della Verita made?
Well, it was made around 185 BC, and it's made completely of marble.
Who created it and why?
It was originally presumed to be used as a drain cover, and historians can't decide a clear idea of who exactly created it.
And what was the importance of it to the Romans, and how was it used?
It was important because many Romans thought that it represented the god Oceanus, since it was a drain cover and it was related with water. And it was also used as a lie detector in medieval times, and there would be someone on the other side, and after a person puts their hand in the mouth, an executor would be on the other side with a sword and chop off the liar's hand.
It is important because it pictured a revered god, Oceanus. Today it is placed outside the Santa Maria in Cosmedian Church. This is one of Rome's oldest churches. The Temple of Hercules Victor, across the street, had an opening in the roof similar to that of the Pantheon. The most popular explanation for its preservance is that the drain was used to wash away blood from sacrifices, according to Famous Wonders website. Being placed in the church shows the supersessionism of taking these pagan gods and adding them into Christian worship places. Today, the visitors are Christians or tourists.
It was interesting to see all the tourists placing their hand in the mouth of truth, which was once used as a lie detector, and cut their hands off if they lied once they placed the hand in the mouth. Since it is said to represent Oceanus, the god of the earth-encircling river, it can be related to the phrase of all roads or rivers lead to Rome. Rome was the largest civilization of the world because of its various types of systems, including trading. The booming trading system became possible with all the roads and rivers around Rome.
Across from the Bocca Della Verita stands the Temple of Hercules Victor. The fountain standing outside the temple is the Fountain of Tritons, which was originally commissioned by Pope Clement XI in 1717. The temple was built by Hermodus around 145 BC, and this temple was erected in Hercules' honor. It was built on this spot because of where an ancient cattle auction was, which was originally used for the Circus Maximus events by Romans.
This is the Temple of Hercules Victor. It was constructed in 145 BC. The reason for its construction is based off of a story of Hercules and Cautius. Hercules and Cautius were close neighbors. Hercules had a herd of cattle and oxen that were envied by all in the land. And one day, Cautius thought, I want those oxen. They will be mine. And so he came up with a plan to try to steal these oxen from Hercules. So one night while Hercules was out, Cautius decided to put his plan into action. His plan was he went over to Hercules' hut and decided that he would take half of his best oxen. So he realized that if he took the oxen, they would leave footprints in the ground, and Hercules could find where the oxen went based off of these footprints. So his plan was to walk the oxen backwards into his cave so that Hercules did not know where they were. This plan was quite successful. He had managed to get the oxen into his cave. However, then, Hercules came home and realized, there were more of you when I left. So he realized that half of his oxen were gone and thought, well, where could they have gone? But he wasn't too worried about that at the time. He was more worried about, this is a bad neighborhood, I should probably move the rest of my herd. So he takes the rest of his herd and begins to walk towards the cave, not looking for anything, just to, start to move. While walking past the cave, he saw that the footprints were coming from the cave, and was very confused by this. This led him to be a little suspicious. But what made him more suspicious was when one of his cattle made a loud noise, or oxen, made a loud noise, and then one of the ones in the cave responded. So Hercules wanted to go into the cave, but Cautious was blocking his way in and not letting him into the cave, making Hercules all the more suspicious. So Hercules decided that he had to fight his way into the cave, and he kills Cautious with one blunt blow to the head, goes in and finds his oxen. So then they erected this for him for being the victor.
It was built on this spot because of where an ancient cattle auction was, which was originally used for the Circus Maximus events by Romans.
I believe that the temple is important to what we have learned in Rome because it has withstood the powers of supersessionism, which is a huge part of what happened to the ancient Roman culture. Christianity had become legalized by the Emperor Constantine I in 313 AD, and once that happened, it has allowed them to start phasing out the pagan religion of Rome. When this happened, they had started to supersede and build on top of or take over places of pagan worship. The Temple of Hercules Victor is important because although it had been turned into a Christian church, it is the longest-lasting marble structures in Rome that is still remembered as the Temple of Hercules Victor.